mic that I'm talking from is a Western invention. This auditorium that we're sitting is a Western invention. So we cannot ignore the Western models. So for me, IKS should be integrated knowledge system where we integrate the best practices of the West and contextualize with the Indian context. And the question that bothers me is how long, so I would like to throw it open to people in the auditorium, that how long does a student stay in a school or a college? Can anyone tell me? How long? I'll be within my 10 minutes, so don't worry. How long does a student stay in a school? 6 hours? Where is this person for the remaining part of the day? The remaining 18 hours, where is this person operating? Where is this person located? Under whose supervision? Parents, right? Okay. All of you, more of you mostly we are all working professionals or PhD scholars to get a degree, right? So why are you studying? To get this PhD? For a job, right? How long does the job entail? How long do you do this job per day? 6 to 8 hours, right? 8 hours and for that you have a 20-year training, right? I mean 10 plus 2 plus 3 or 4, then masters, then a PhD for 5 years. 25 years of training for an 8-hour job. 24/7, right? So for an 8-hour job, we have a 25-year training. For a 24/7 job, what kind of training do we have? Do we have a forget 25 years, do we have a 25-month course on parenting? That will be a 2-year course. Do we have a 25-week program? That will be a 6 months course. Do we have a 25-day program? That will be an orientation program kind of a thing. Do we have a 24-hour program? That will be a week-long course on parenting. How many days does a parent, generally speaking, come to a school or a college? 2 days for the admission to the next year and for parent-teachers meetings. So what is happening is in our education system, which we call NEP, the person who is under supervision, who is the supervisor of the student, who is the primary beneficiary of our education system, the student, is absent from our education system. Is there any word mentioned of parents in NEP 2020? I ask you because I don't know. Just for you to tell me. Is there any better parenting program that is run in the country, organized, structured by the educational bodies? We run separate programs privately, but is there any quality control? My daughter is studying in class 6. Sir's daughter is studying in class 6. They both get 80% in the exam. She goes back to, and sir, congratulations, you have got 80%. My daughter comes back and I thrash her for not getting 90%. Are the developments the same for the two students? In the same class, in the same school? So what quality control are we talking about? Is NEP becoming not engaging properly? We have to be very careful of that. And when we talk about IKS, we have to be proud of our legacy. I don't know how much of it is sort of entailed in our education system. We have to think as to why this part of the world became so highly developed. We have to think that we have to incorporate the history in our education as to why, because I was asking that question of motivation. Why will I be motivated? If I see that my goals, it's a very behaviorist model, you do this course, you get so many points. You do this, you get CRE points. It's like, you do this, you get chocolates. It's like we are treating our teachers like children. You do this course, you get so many points, you get a certificate, you get so many marks, then you get promotion. Where is the intrinsic motivation? Until that happens, no amount of planning will work. Are we integrating our teachers and the parents together? Because teachers are also parents. because I take this opportunity across India wherever I go to propagate, to involve psychologists, to involve better parenting workshops in the teacher education programs and in the teaching education system. When we talk about the Finland model, the European models, when I go to the West and I see how the teachers are involving parents, of course I understand here the problems are much bigger because of the population, but then somewhere we have to make a start. Because we have the potential. You have to understand, our country is the only country in the world which has an ocean named after it. There is no other country which has an ocean named after it. We have the world's largest peninsula. You know what's a peninsula? It's a land formation covered on three sides by water. So we were surrounded on three sides by sea, so we were very safe and secure. And on the south, west and east, and on the north we have the world's tallest mountain ranges. So in this part of the land, knowledge, education flowed. But somewhere we lost it. In the past we had the various terms called Acharya, Adhyapak, Upadhyay, Drisht and Guru. We lost them. Now we are taking the Western models of teacher, mentor, coach, counselor and guide. And we are naming our courses guidance and counseling courses. The NCERT runs DCTC. Okay, so it's a Western model. But can we incorporate the Indian ethos? That is what is needed. We face the same challenges in our psychology field also, because our models are mainly Western models of psychology. We are trying, because there is a huge trend, when I go to APA, American Psychological Association meetings in Europe and the United Nations, there is a huge trend now about decolonization of psychology and education and focusing on the global south. That is where we need to focus specifically on education. 8 minutes. I have 2 minutes left, I suppose. So I would like to invite you to think on your own terms, because I don't ask you what to think, I just ask you how to think about your own situation. I'll give you an example and I'll end the problem. 2016, Tata Institute of Social Sciences starts a BVOC program. Have you heard of BVOC? Now everyone knows because of vocationalization that is happening in NP 2020. It was started in 2016. Before that, actually, we started in Jadavpur University a 3-year multi-exit program on stress management. There is no course in the world totally dedicated on stress management for 3 years. That was taken up by TIS in 2016. They launched a BVOC on various verticals: hospitality, agriculture, mobile technology, automobile, etc. So I go to two educational hubs. One is an agriculture hub, one is a hospitality hub. In hospitality, I go to the Taj in Calcutta, it's called Taj Bengal. There my student comes to my class with a champagne bottle in hand. He was not drinking. He just attended a course on bartending. That's part of his course. Okay? Now I'm teaching a module on dealing with failure. You all know this story of the KFC guy who first became successful at the age of 62 after repeated failure of his model, of his recipe, the famous Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. So I'm teaching that, and this guy knows. The same module I'm teaching in the agriculture hub, where this student comes with a spade in hand because he was tilling the land. He comes from a remote village in West Bengal. He has never heard of KFC. So what implementation am I doing? This is what Sir was talking about: rampant standardization of everything, sans any contextualization. If we don't contextualize, we lose the local ethos. Because when I go to Europe, the language may be different, but the letters are the same. You know, I have a problem because I go to Spain and I have to learn Spanish, but at least I can read the scripts. Spanish, English, German, they have the same letters. Here, when I go to my neighboring state, Orissa, I don't even understand the script. Our country is that diverse. So we have to continuously, so when we talk about continuous professional development, we have to continuously contextualize our education system. Same with the psychology, which I talk about in my own professional circles. So these are some of the challenges. Think over it over lunch, and we can come back and have general discussions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.